Today I'm going to be using examples and going over a tutorial of how to do covered calls and generate consistent income in your portfolio. So you don't need a really massive account to generate enough retirement income to not need to work anymore. So what I want to show you is how I've been using this strategy. I personally have made a lot more than even needed for a good retirement. So you don't need to have a massive portfolio, but if you have, say 100K, you can easily generate really strong income by selling covered calls. So let's just kind of go over some of my positions, and I'm going to show you a tutorial of a covered call. As usual, I'm not trying to, please the algorithm or anything like that. I'm going to show you just actionable insights step by step and tutorial form content here. And before I jump into this tutorial today, I want to let you know that this is a new channel, the Options Retirement Academy, where every single day we have a coaching session with me or another coach, right? Most of the days it's another coach. And the community is very new, so we hold your hand and basically take you through the journey of approaching retirement. Here's what the page kind of looks like. I can't put in the description just yet, but if you go to the comments, I'll comment down this page and then you can learn a lot more about growing your wealth. All right, let's jump right into the video. So right now I have a covered call on Apple for 11/21 expiration. I have a covered call on Google, and I automatically know any call option that I have here is a covered call option. I know that because I would never really sell a call option that is just naked without having the underlying stock. So whenever we're doing a covered call, it's called a covered call because you have to buy 100 shares of a stock and then sell a call option against those shares to generate income. And one of the best things is, even if you're a complete beginner, this is honestly the easiest strategy to use because any 100 shares of stock you can sell a call option on and just generate income on it, okay? So I'm going to quickly go over some of my positions and I'll kind of give you a couple of trades as well because I want you guys to have some actionable insights. So Apple, Google, I got Robinhood, I got IBIT. Okay, actually let's talk about IBIT and then I'll go over another example as well. Let's start off with IBIT because covered calls are not only great for generating income and getting into retirement, they're also really good for protecting your portfolio and hedging. And when it comes to option trading, that's amazing, right? You get to generate income and hedge, okay? So here's my IBIT. Slightly down on IBIT. I have a really, really massive position in IBIT. And what I was doing with IBIT was I was pretty bullish on crypto, so I had a few different crypto stocks. And IBIT, yeah, just massive position. Now, what did I do here? Because it is a massive position, how did I personally generate income? Well, I have a 65 covered call right here, and I'm selling out of the money covered calls on all my stocks. IBIT is technically an ETF, so you can do this on SPY, QQQ, IBIT, these are ETFs, or you can do it on single stocks. Covered call is as simple as just selling a call option against shares that you have, okay? I wanna go into my history a little bit here because you can see I ended up selling this, and obviously this is a huge amount. Like in my thumbnail and in the title, like you can see that it's not that number, right? It's a lot smaller number. But this is just an example of like a fairly big position that I have, and this is like what I could make, in the expiration is like in a month. So obviously very, 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 very big return for the month. So yeah, again, and by the way, this position right here is $1 million, right? So you can kind of do the math. If you were to chop this up by 1/10, it would be like 100K. Then you would just chop this number up by 1/10, and then you would essentially get around like the $4,000 mark. So you can kind of do the math. What kind of portfolio size that you need to basically retire. It's not even that much. It really isn't. It's really not that much. So you can basically achieve retirement with like a 200K portfolio. Pretty awesome, right? Like you can, live life on your own terms, not have to have a boss, etc. And that's basically what the Retirement Academy is all about. It's about freedom, consistency, and getting to the end result, which is retirement. But yeah, let me kind of give you some understanding here. What happened here? Well, this is called a roll. I didn't really need to roll. I could have closed out the trade, but I rolled the trade. I closed it out for 4 cents because I had previously already made money on a covered call strategy. And essentially I just closed out one covered call and I opened up another one. So, I mean, if you're a beginner, don't worry about this. Just know that I sold IBIT 65 covered call for November 21st expiration. I would still do something like this right now, like easily I would do this right now as well. So yeah, sell IBIT 65 covered call, 11/21 expiration. And yeah, like massive amounts of money. Now, what kind of happens here? Well, IBIT's currently trading for $63 per share. And over the last 1 month, it's just slightly down, very, very slightly down. So if it were to go up towards $65 per share, I would have to sell it for $65 per share. That's completely okay with me. My average cost is $63.99, and I've been selling covered calls and generating income on this position. So I'm pretty happy overall with the covered call strategy on this particular position. Keep in mind, this tutorial is not just for IBIT. You can literally do it on many other stocks. So let me go to the next stock. And if you had any questions about this position, comment down below. This is a very small channel. The community is only, I think we got 3 people people right now. So it's going to feel like one-on-one coaching. Right now it's insane because it's essentially one-on-one coaching. Like I'm hopping on these calls and other coaches are hopping on. There's no one in the group yet because it's a new group. So it's like the biggest massive value ever. Like it's like the best time ever to join. It's not good to join a community that has like thousands of members. You think you're going to get that person's attention? Not really. This is really good because you got my full undivided attention as well as the other coaches. And since we're new, we're trying to get as many testimonials and kind of build everything up. So it's going to be the best experience you ever have if you want to check it out. All right. Let's go into a position, another one. So Chipotle. Chipotle is actually an interesting one. All right, Chipotle stock, all the restaurant stocks have kind of been faltering and having a tough time. And I'm underwater on my Chipotle position, so I don't really have a covered call right now. But here's like a really something easy that you can do. Obviously, if you're up on a position, it's super easy to sell a covered call because you already made money. Now you sell a covered call, you make even more money and you sell it for higher. But what do you do in this situation? Like when a stock has come down, do you still sell covered calls? I personally haven't for a while. I haven't sold covered calls in Chipotle since, let's look at the history here, since July. So it's been a long time. I was selling 47.5 covered calls and these worked out. You can see here that it worked out. I collected $1,300 and yeah, I just collected $1,300 and it expired. Actually, it expired last month, so not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, I did a fairly like far out expiration date. So actually, yeah, not too bad. But you can see here the 131 that I collected, actually it reduces my average cost. So my average cost is $45.88, but I mean, you could technically take in the premium that I collected and kind of reduce $45.88 by like what, $1.33? So that'll be like $44.55. So like you can kind of say like my average cost is a little bit lower. But what I'm trying to get at is I'd be happy to kind of get rid of / sell Chipotle at 45 in the short term. So I'm going to show you a covered call option that can generate really good income. And this is basically how you should think about your retirement is just sell covered calls. Don't worry about it. If it sells off, it sells off. It's not a big deal. You can just buy shares again and do more covered calls. You're not supposed to like hang on to your shares and like there's a couple of options. Okay, let me say this. It's good to hang on to your shares for a long time because then you pay long-term capital gains tax. And I'm not a financial advisor or a tax person, but it's good to hang on to stocks for long term. However, in the short term, if you have a big gain on your hands, it's not bad, right? So in a month, if you can have like a turnover, and let's say that Chipotle is at 42 and you buy it right now and you sell a 45 covered call, the premium here is actually not bad. Like it's actually pretty decent. So here's the scenario. You buy Chipotle for 42, you sell a call for 45, right? If Chipotle stays within this range, that's fine, that's cool, like great. No problem, right? If it goes down, obviously that's not ideal, but you still get to keep the premium, which is good. If it goes up, that's the ideal situation because you make money on the stock and you make money with premium. This is, by the way, this is the return, right? Now, the red here, don't worry about this because Robinhood right now is thinking that it's a short call option that's not a covered call. So it doesn't really understand it's a covered call. So don't pay attention to this side of the equation. Just pay attention to like basically the premium that you collect. What happens at basically $45 is you're not going to be red, you just give away your stock. You'll be called away, right? So when you sell a call option at 45, the other person's going to exercise at expiration, right? So you'll lose your shares at 45. Now, is that bad? Man, it's pretty good. Like it's really good. You have $42 as your average cost if you were to buy it right now, right? Don't worry about my average cost. Well, I said 45, I'm okay with. But just start off this position from scratch. If you buy Chipotle now and you sell it for 45, you get like $3 or so of upside. So that's like $3 divided by like the capital that you put up, which is about like, you know, what is it? $4,000 and you collect you get $300. So that's like 7-ish% return. So you get a 7% return plus you get the capital here, the premium of like $1. So it's essentially 10% when you do the math if it were to go to $45 per share or higher, right? Which is pretty freaking amazing. That means technically on an 80K portfolio, you would generate like $8,000 worth of income, right? Now that's obviously like the more, like that's like aggressive. Like that's not like the safest return. Like 10% per month is massive. Like I'm just gonna be honest with you. That's probably not possible every single month, right? I would like not hope for 10% per month because that's probably not gonna happen every single month, but it's possible to happen sometimes. And this position I think is a very lucrative position that I will personally be opening up really soon because the potential to make 10% is pretty high here. Like the chances are pretty high. Now, if Chipotle only goes up like $1 and then the option obviously will expire out of the money, well, that's like $2 or $200 on 4K, which is still like a 5% return in 28 days, right? So this option expires in 28 days, November 21st, and I like the 21st and traditional expirations. So the traditional expiration would be December 19 and January 16 and February 20. As you can see here, they start to like be monthly expirations on the third Friday. It's called the traditional expiration. So this is exactly like how I would generate income in a retirement portfolio. Like if you're looking to retire, if you want to generate passive and safe income, you just go for high quality stocks. I showed you like two. I showed you an ETF IBIT. You can easily just change that for SPY or QQQ, and then just a single stock like Chipotle, and just sell an out of the money covered call option here. You can see the delta's 33. I didn't even really have to think about that. I knew the delta was around 33 because it's slightly out of the money option. Yeah, I just been doing this for a very long time, obviously. Anyway, so if you had any questions around this tutorial and how to sell covered calls properly, or how to generate your numbers, and if you just want like a game plan or a strategy on like how much you can actually make given your portfolio size, feel free to email me in the description. I can only put my email. I can't put the link to the Academy, but the Academy link will be in the comments, which I also can't pin, but that'll be in the comments. You'll know it's from me because it'll be from the official channel. And luckily, we're so new in this YouTube journey that there is no scammers and spammers yet in the comment section below. So that's a good thing. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure that you subscribe for more tutorials. Ask questions. I'm going to answer them. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.